Greetings, Whiskey Villains. Welcome to Whiskey Whistle. I'm your host, Mark, and this is Whiskey Review number 119. What have we here? We have some KAVALAN Solist. This is the sherry cask, and recently picked up for me thanks to my mother-in-law. So, big cheers to my mother-in-law. Thank you so much for taking the time to find that and bring it back with you here to Seoul, where I live. All right, so we're gonna get this open. Look at this box, huh? This is how it comes, and it was roughly around about $90 US, I believe. About 100,000 won in Korean money, and about 3,000 of the Taiwanese dollars, I think they're called over there. All right, so let's get that opened. Have a look at that. Isn't that pretty? How can you possibly put this together for that price? Of course, that's the local price. This distillery and their whiskey fetches crazy prices once it leaves the country. Over here, I haven't seen anything for less than a couple $100. So I have, well, very rarely. Oh, look at that. I guess you can see there's another bottle here. This is actually the real bottle that she brought back with her. And inside here, let's have a look. Have a look at this. This is just crazy. Where are we? There we go. Look at that. My goodness. I did not even expect to see this. So not only is there the bottle there, but you've also got a nice Glencairn glass that's etched with the logo KAVALAN on it. Very cool. So this one I picked up here in Seoul at the Namdaemun market in the underground whiskey retailer area. Not underground because it's illegal, underground because it simply happens to be underground. We'll get that out. Now this is a nice clean glass. I washed it. Didn't pick up too much smell from that. Nope, from the box here. Now, word of caution: if you buy whiskey and it comes in something like this, do not store your whiskey long term in such boxes or containers. There's a fairly potent smell. It does have a little, what can I call that? A little bit of a deodorant, but I mean, it's not going to work that well. Short term, yes. As a gift, beautiful. Do not store your whiskey in there long term. It will probably eventually affect the whiskey inside because this is not a perfect seal, is it? All right, so that's the bottle I'm going to keep for a long time, and this is the one that I've opened. They're the same. They're both the sherry cask. However, they're different casks, in fact. So this is a cask by cask offering. I guess I can close that now. Every cask is different, so every cask should be slightly different also in the flavor. Now they do lots of interesting things there. They have a kind of like a re-charring process that they use on a lot of whiskeys. I believe that has happened to this cask. The reason I say that is because this is natural color. Can you see how dark that is? Does that look black to you? Pretty crazy. And the one that I bought is actually a little bit lighter. Maybe you can't see that, but the one my mother-in-law brought back is almost twice as dark. So I can kind of see through this one. I can't see jack through this one at all. It is absolutely totally black from my point of view, whereas this one has kind of a mahogany kind of color to it. Okay, anyway, now you may think these are non-age stated, which it's not stated directly on there, but thanks to Larry Shane, who is the administrator of the Kava fan Facebook group. Please join if you're a big fan of KAVALAN. Anyway, so he's put together that that Facebook group, and he also shared how to tell the age of the KAVALAN whiskeys. So on the front here, and it's actually listed there, that picture at the very front, the very first picture you saw, which was that one there, is actually my own bottle. And on the very front, it says cask number S09061002-4B. 09061002-4B is the cask number. Bottle number 409 of 507. Interesting information. So the cask number 090610, well, that's actually the year, the month, and the day. So 2009, June the 10th is when this was distilled. And the bottling date is 2016, March 15th. So just shy of 7 years, about 6 years and 9 months. That's the aging time for this whiskey. Okay, so 6 years, 9 months, which for a new distillery, that's actually pretty old. This is roughly around the same kind of, we'll call the same sort of era as a certain distillery in Sweden, which I mentioned before, and some in Denmark. There's one in Denmark that's roughly around the same time as for when it opened. Well, there's a Canadian single malt distillery that opened a little bit before this one, but you know, it's roughly in the same sort of 20-year period, kind of like we'll call that the new single malt whiskey boom that's happened all over the world. Okay, all right, so time to get it poured. This is my third KAVALAN whiskey review. You can find those. I'll put links to them in this whiskey review towards the end. Whoa. Just maybe one more little drop. I didn't tell you about the ABV, but look at the color there. It's like mahogany. What a dark, beautiful color that is. This is the darkest whiskey I've ever seen, and very interesting. Now, it is a sherry cask. That's one of the reasons, but I believe that this extra charring and flaming they do to the cask had an influence on that. All right, anyway, other facts about this one. This is 57.8% ABV. So almost 58%. That's huge. You're practically talking about the same sort of ABV that a lot of American bourbon brands put out when they release kind of like the cask strength or the barrel proof whiskeys. So that's just amazing. It's much higher in ABV than a lot of the Scotch whiskeys for their cask strength whiskeys. All right. Well, let's get on to the nosing. You should let it sit for a while, although we don't really have the time to you know, fool around that much with it. But one good thing is I have a little left from what I was tasting earlier today. This is about my 5th glass of this now, so we can compare with that one that has a bit of water added and quite a bit of time to let that sort of aerate and breathe. All right, so with the fresh KAVALAN Solist Sherry Cask, at least the recent releases, this is a current release from this one. So 2016 March was when it was released, and that's what's currently available at the big Taiwan airport. All right. Okay, so let's get on to that now. The nose. Before we get there, we're going to have a very short advertisement right here. Okay, welcome back. Let's talk about the nose for KAVALAN Solist Sherry Cask. That is potent, but it certainly is fragrant. Brown sugar Lots of dried fruits, raisins, plums, dried plums or prunes. Ooh. There's also some wood smoke coming through there too. Now I wrote here for the nose, big sherry sweetness. So for the sherried whiskeys that I've tried, the sherry bombs, of which this is one, this has the strongest sherry sort of scent that I've ever noticed before. Okay, dried prunes, dark raisins, brown sugar, dark rum, and if you give it some time, you get kind of like a spiced fruit cake, or a dark fruit cake that's that comes through. And again, with time, also you get more of the sugar, the dark sugar, the demerara sugar that you'll notice. Almost molasses-est, molasses, I can't even speak today, molasses-esque, molasses-ish, that's better. All right, onto the palate. Now, when you drink this, word of caution, take the smallest amount you can actually get on your tongue, because it is so potent, especially for the first sip. That'll get your mouth a little bit acclimatized to the ABV. Let it sit there and then swallow. Boy, it's already really, really flavorful. Okay, let's get onto that in earnest now. Now take a little bit more for the second pull, we'll call it. So fruity, so juicy. It's drinkable cask strength, but you got to take it slowly. And again, there's a little bit of this youthful kind of punch to it as well, which I don't mind, which I think it's quite nice. For practically 7 years, you know what you're getting. You're not getting something that is hugely aged. It's a young whiskey, but it is a fantastic young whiskey. All right, now what did I write here? Fruit kick. Sweet and sour are in great balance. So sweet to sour, almost ideal as far as the that ratio. Touch of bitterness too, dryness. Now, if you went to a bar and they made a cocktail and it came out like this, you'd be happy because it really hits all the bases. It's got enough sweetness, a little bit of sour punch to it, and then it finishes just a little bit dry. So very, very nice. Dark fruit cake, tiramisu with lots of liquor on the bottom. What is that usually? Some kind of Italian liqueur like Tia Maria or Angelica. I don't know exactly what they put down there. I just eat the stuff. I don't really talk about the ingredients a whole lot of tiramisu. I wish I could make it, and I should try one day. Okay, what else? Dried fruit compote on the palate, brown sugar, and even like the black dark sugars. They call it black sugar here in Korea. Huksaltang. Okay, so beyond the brown sugar into the black sugar, molasses. And with time, you get more of the cakey notes, more of the sugar notes coming through. How about the finish now? Oh, that's great. Again, really big dried fruits. A little bit of fizziness or almost like dryness, but beyond that, a little bit of that left there, that's from the youth. There's some dry earthiness to it. A lot of the dried fruits, there's some herbs there as well. Bit of mintiness, orange, clove. Imagine an orange with cloves stuck in it, simmering in like a wine, sort of a warm wine, mulled wine kind of idea. Very nice. Okay, let's add water. Do not be shy with this one. You can add lots of water to it. And I am going to add basically about 1.5 teaspoons. About 7 milliliters I've added to that one. And that is going to bring it down quite close, possibly even lower than 40%. Let it mix. Now I mentioned the KAVALAN Facebook group. Please join it. And there's all kinds of events happening there. Currently, if I get this out fast enough, when they hit 900 members, they're going to do a draw for a variety of small 50 milliliter samples of the whiskey, 6 of them I believe. Now I put my name in the hat. I would love to win that, but you can too, so make sure you join. Likely there'll be more events coming for let's say the next level. Probably 1500 would be the next one, I would imagine. That's about a 2-week or 3-week-old group, and it is growing fast. So get yourself on there. Throw up some pictures of your KAVALAN collection and video of you trying it, and you'll probably win something eventually. Wouldn't that be cool? And big cheers to Larry Shane from that group. Interestingly, he's from Winnipeg, and even more interestingly, I went to school with his brother, Bill Shane, so very cool. Okay, all mixed up? Yep. Okay, let's get onto the nose now with water. We'll have another short advertisement right there. Welcome back, KAVALAN Sherry Cask, the Solist. This is a single malt whiskey, in case you're just somehow just tuning in now. So it's a single malt. It's Taiwanese, so it's a Taiwanese single malt. And this is one of the hottest distilleries on the planet right now. Okay, so with water, you get more brown sugar. Oh, very nice. Dark raisins, dark plain chocolate, chocolate liqueur, some spent coffee grounds, and a bit of cherry chocolate as well. Beautiful nose. Okay, on to the palate. Let's taste it now with a bit of water. Just right. Still beautifully sweet and sour. Just right. Just enough sweetness, just enough sourness to it. You get sweetness, then the fruit comes through. Something like fruit and nut from Cadbury, so some chocolate coming through as well. There's a touch of nuttiness. The nuts are more like macadamia and cashew, but again, mixed in with the chocolate. The longer you keep it in your mouth, the drier it gets, again, which is quite nice. And a little bit of citrus flavor coming through too. Great. And the finish, I guess I have to try one more sip to tell you about the finish. Dark chocolate brownies with raisins in it. And then you've got a pot of Earl Grey tea right next to it. So Earl Grey tea, hot Earl Grey tea with a bit of brownie dessert happening next door with raisins in it. Earl Grey tea, by the way, the flavor is bergamot. That's a citrus flavor. So a little citrusy going on there. And then that a black tea sort of background, the dryness. Interestingly, this is not unlike a nicely aged brandy. We're talking like the XO or older. Okay, so XO brandy or cognac. If you are a cognac drinker, this would be one to try because it is lovely. I didn't need to take another sip, but I just wanted to. Okay, now the briefly aerated KAVALAN with water versus the hour and a half aerated KAVALAN with water. Let's see how they differ. Oh, well, a lot more sweetness now. Marshmallows, candy bars, Snickers. Isn't that interesting? Sherry, 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 sherry. Raisins, brown sugar. And then here you get this candy. Kind of like Charleston Chew. Yeah, that's what it is. Well, there you go. Let it have some time and you might get a little bit of Charleston Chew coming through. Okay, let's give it a try now. Nice brown sugar, chocolatey, dried fruits. This one. Just a bit smoother, very similar on the palate, but the nose especially. Really elegant now. Give that a try. Okay, so let a glass sit with water for an hour or two, with a lid on probably, and then pour a fresh one and then see which one you prefer. I like that one myself. Okay, so that was KAVALAN Solist Sherry Cask, Taiwanese single malt whiskey. It's been a nice whiskey, I'll say. And we'll get on to the scoring now. The WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for KAVALAN Solist Sherry Cask is going to be 87 out of 100. Solid score. This one is a Sherry Bomb, and the nickname is Sherry Bomb Game, Set, and Match. Intense flavors. It's a well-made spirit, and to quote a certain would-be politician, this is going to be huge. This one is going to be huge. Not huge, but huge. It's going to be huge, and you will want to buy as much KAVALAN as you can, because the popularity is just growing and growing, and it's going to be getting harder and harder to find, even though they're trying to get it out to more and more markets. So if you know someone going through Taiwan, get them to buy some, and don't be shy. Get yourself a few bottles, and then worry about the duty when you arrive to where you're going, and tell the customs officer, I've got 3 bottles of KAVALAN whiskey. And if he's a KAVALAN fan, he may just say, carry on. Good job. All right. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. This was Whiskey Review number 119, KAVALAN Solist Sherry Cask. Please subscribe down in the corner there. Just click the link. Like it on Facebook. I'll put an ad on I put a link on Facebook. Like it on YouTube. Like it on Twitter. Wherever you are. Please like that. Share it with your friends, and come back next time. We'll see you very soon. Thanks, everyone.